Welcome to 6 Minute Hump Day, where we help entrepreneurs get through their busy week with a dash of inspiration, motivation, and a touch of education.
Welcome to episode number 44 of the Jeff Lopes podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Lopes. We have a special guest on today, Gilad Hanina. Gilad is going to go through today. He was on last week on our podcast. Today we're going to get going with goal setting. He's going to give his insight, how his goal setting has affected his life and how it has benefited him. So take out your notepads and get ready to learn. Enjoy, everyone. We are live on the Jeff Lopes podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Lopes. We got part 2 of a 2-part series with Gilad Hanina direct from Israel. And today we're going to be talking about goal setting. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me here for the second time. Appreciate it.
Very good, brother. Last week we dove into Instagram and he gave us a ton of information. Today we're going to talk about goal setting, and I'm going to let him take the platform and get started, brother. Let's go.
All right, perfect. Thank you for having me to have these 6 minutes. I want to talk about how to set goals and really how to accomplish them, because I feel like this was a major thing in my business and in my personal life, setting goals and accomplishing them. And first thing, so many people don't set goals, okay? Even entrepreneurs that are trying to succeed, because, it's easy to forget, maybe one month you set the goals and then you next month you don't have goals. So I want to first share my experience with setting goals, because I feel like so many people can learn from it. And specifically, I'm going to be talking about money goals, because this is the easiest to understand. Because if I'm going to tell you about relationships goals that I had, it will be hard for me to explain how it improved my life, for example. But money is numbers. It's easy to understand. So let me go back. When I was serving in the Israeli army, I was starting my online business. And as I grew and I started doing Instagram, I was making in the moment about maybe $500 a month. Okay, I was making $500 a month in a good month. I wasn't making a lot of money. It was a side hustle. And I'm a guy who dreams big. And I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And this is exactly the methods that he shared. I learned them about goal settings. And he tells there that you need to set up a goal that's going to be extremely high. Let's say it's going to make you fear from the goal. You don't know how you accomplish it. It's going to make you scared a little bit, but you can. And then you gotta set up a plan, and I'm gonna go more deep into how you do it. But basically, back into the story, I was putting up a goal that I want to earn $10,000 a month by this and this date, which was maybe 6 or 7 or 8 months down the road. And I set the goal, which was completely insane. I was making $500 a month, and then I want to earn 10K, which is 5 figures a month. This was kind of my big thing. And I didn't know how I'm going to do it. And I wrote down on a piece of paper the goal, the date that I want to accomplish. I think it was September 1st. I'm not sure what's the accurate date, but there was a date, there was a goal. I wrote that in numbers, I wrote that in letters, and then I wrote down what I'm willing to give to the world for having this goal completed. What I'm willing to give to the world for having me make and earn $10,000 a month. So I sat down there and I wrote, I'm going to help people with Instagram. I'm going to provide free content. I'm going to provide paid content. I'm going to sell courses. I'm going to help at least 5 clients, with the agency services. I'm going to help so many people for free. I'm starting to list out all these things why I should win this goal, right? And then I'm and then the next thing is I want to set up a plan. And right now I don't know how it's gonna go. It shouldn't be a detailed plan. This is how I'm gonna do this month and next month. It should be a general goal of okay, so to have this money in my pocket every month, I need to have at least X amount of clients. I need to do X amount of this. I need to do X amount. So I'm kind of having the picture, and I put that all in a piece of paper, closed it down by the date that I should complete the goal. I had no idea how I do it. All a vision, right? And then by Napoleon Hill, how he teaches it is you have to look at this goal every single day. You have to put it in a place where you can see it every day, and just always in your subconscious mind work on that goal, because that's how it's going to work. So I put a piece of paper in my wallet. I was still serving in the army. I was working 16 hours a day. very hard. Like I didn't know anyone having a side hustle, even learning something new while doing such a hard service, right? And this was my goal. People thought I'm crazy, right? My closest friends. I put down the piece of paper in my wallet, and I looked at it every single. I wanted to look at it every single day, every single night, before I go to sleep, and when I wake up, to have this in my subconscious mind. Actually, I didn't look at it every day. This would be a lie. I looked at it a few times a week, for sure. Okay, and I don't know how September came, and I didn't get to the goal, but I was making about 9,700 this month of September, of August, I think, something like that, or September, and I really got to the goal. Maybe not quite to the goal I wanted, but I got pretty close, which was amazing. Okay, and this was so amazing, and I didn't. I'm like putting the piece of paper, seeing the money, and I'm like, okay, this thing is working. I have no idea how. So, and then back then I still didn't know if it's luck or this thing is really working. Okay, I worked my ass off. I did a lot of things to get to the goal. Okay, just setting up the goal, looking at it every day, not gonna make things happen. It's not gonna make the money rain, right? You gotta work for it. But this was a major thing that allowed me to set up the goal. So what I did next is, okay, I need a new goal, right? I set this goal. Now I need a new financial goal for myself. So I set down the next goal for a year later. And this was a big goal. I don't want to get specific here about numbers, but this was a huge goal. And a year later, I didn't have any chance, even in my mind, to understand how I'm going to get to this number. Didn't have it, but I decided this is what I want. This is what I'm willing to give. This is my basic plan to do. So I'm going to dedicate my whole passion, my whole desire, my whole thing, the whole thing that I'm doing into accomplishing that goal. And I did that. I really did that. I accomplished this goal 1 month before the deadline, which was crazy. It was the craziest thing I was able to do. Like this allowed me to build my own thing, to leave the army and not become an employee, to do it full time, to build a team, have 2 employees, run a full time business, work with unique and individuals that I really love working with. All this led and started with the goal. So my message, I don't just want you to hear about me and my goals. It's not why I'm sharing this. It's about how you can accomplish your own goals. So I want, first thing, read the book Think and Grow Rich. It's going to help you not just in financial goals, but in every goals you set and how to set them, and many different things that are beneficial for success. But specifically going into goal setting, be sure you set the goals, be sure you do it properly, and be sure you do it by the way I taught it, and do it with passion, and not just, really understand why, the reason you set the goal, and work your ass off. Into the accomplishing that goal. It's working. This is my story, and it can work for anyone. I'm not special at anything that I can accomplish these goals, and anyone should have different goals. And this is what I feel about it.
I'm gonna dive into that, brother, for a couple of seconds.
For sure.
With goal setting, I'm a huge advocate of goal setting. I always set 6 months and 1 year goals. I don't like passing 1 year goals because I find they're too long of a vision to see that far ahead. But I always do 6 months and 1 year goals. And I've talked about on my podcast about this in the past, and I always try to I utilize this with other entrepreneurs that I'm trying to help as well. Is when you set a 6 month goal. I call it the domino effect, and I had somebody on a podcast, Terrence, that was very advocate about this. It's a domino effect. So you set the last domino is your 6 month goal, and then we set 100, 200, 300 dominoes in the front of that, and every single day you're trying to accomplish one thing towards that goal. So you could be still living your life, but all of a sudden today I want to lose 60 pounds. Today, I'm going to drink 6 glasses of water. The next day, I'm going to move for 30 minutes. So every single day, even though your life is still passing, you're still doing one thing towards that goal. Before you know, you build your momentum, and just like yourself, your goals are obtained. And when you reach those goals, it just allows you that accomplishment, that benefit of seeing hard work, what you achieve, and allows you to set bigger goals and bigger goals and bigger goals. So I love that part of it. And everything too, you said, and I'm going to dive into, is the word passion. You use that word a couple of times in there. if you have a passion for something, it doesn't become a job. It doesn't become a career. It's something you wake up every day, enjoy and love. So setting a goal for something that you're very passionate about, it's just going to make the goal so much easier to obtain and so much more enjoyable when you get there. So those are 2 points that I wanted to bring up that you dove into.
Actually, it's amazing that you bring it up. And I guess what I didn't talk about is like the plan. Okay, you set the goal, you have a basic plan. But yeah, you gotta, of course, build out through the time like a plan that you're going to accomplish the goal. Like after you set down the big goal, you need to set up steps to accomplish that goal. It's not
100%.
gonna. When I did the 10K, it's not like I woke up one day, boom, I hit that 10K. It basically was like 1K, 2K. So it was steps, and you need to set up the plan. And if I would finish with a quote that I really love by my favorite mentor Jim Rohn about like goal settings, I would say that. Goals is kind of the direction, and the quote goes like this: 10 years from now, you're surely arrive. The question is where. So the goal is the answer to this question, because 1 year or 6 months or 10 years down the road, you're going to arrive somewhere. But if you're not going to put your mind into where you want to go, where you want to be in the period of time that we are talking about, then life is just going to take you there. Life is going to take you to 10 years down the road, and you're going to be somewhere. The question is, are you going to choose where you want to be, and you're going to play every single day into getting there? Or are you just going to let life, flow with it and get to the point,
I want to, I'm going to dive into that too. I want to take the pandemic, the last 6 months that the world financially, mentally is just flipped upside down, and everybody's been affected in one way or another by this. And I've been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs that are struggled with their businesses, struggled with their companies, and they've played the victim card. They just sit back, and all of a sudden they're like, and all of a sudden 6 months have come and gone, and they're nowhere ahead. If anything, they're so much further behind. And it's because they didn't set a goal. They didn't set a platform to achieve something. And that was one thing. As soon as that hit, I was like, okay, I got opportunities. Let's start a podcast. Let's start writing a book. You have to set goals for yourself. And the time flies. It flies. You're 24 right now, so you're still a baby. I'm 43. I got a 14-year-old. I got a 12-year-old. And I look back in the last 24 years of my life, and if it wasn't for goal setting, I would not be anywhere near where I am. And I'm constantly, till this day, I have right now 6 goals I'm personally working on. And you have to set that. It's such an important part of, I don't even say entrepreneurs, just in life in general. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. It could be, like I said, your health. It could be family. It could be whatever your goals are, building a strong relationship with your kids. It's setting a goal and then finding the steps to getting there. So I think this podcast is so important for people to understand that.
Yeah, for sure. I believe everyone should have a goal in every aspect of their life that they really care and love. Let's say
100%,
you really care,
100%.
You really care about family. Have a family goal. You really care about your relationship, do it. If you really care about fitness, losing weight, gaining muscle, whatsoever, have a goal there. Like every aspect. If you're playing ping pong and you want to improve, which is I'm playing ping pong, so you want to improve, you need a goal, where you want to go in every major thing that you have in your life.
I love that, brother. We're going to end it off right here. On our show notes, I'm going to put all information to gather. And if you want any information, like I said, to get a hold of Elani for his company, for his brand, for anything like that. Once again, brother, thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it.
This has been a great little 2-week segue for a couple of lessons, like I said, on Instagram and now on goal setting. And we're going to have a full episode in a few weeks as well. And excited to have that air as well. Thank you so much, brother. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
It's a wrap for today. Special thanks to Gilad for taking time his busy schedule to being a guest on the Jeff Knows Inc. podcast. If you guys enjoy this episode, please tell your friends, tell your family, trying to build something special here. Leave a review. 5 stars would be absolutely amazing. Until next week, everyone, always move forward.